faster is always better. So today I'm gonna be taking my 60-mile-an-hour Ultra Bee and maxing out its power. And then we're gonna go ride it to see how crazy this thing really gets. Today, we're gonna be installing this X-9000 on the Ultra Bee because apparently you can run over 25 kilowatts with just the stock battery and motor. And before we put on this controller, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to TB Electric and the Talaria boys because they sent me this entire kit. Without them, this video would not be possible, so make sure you go check out TB Electric's website and also use code ZEEKSTER at checkout. And now, let's install this controller. Getting this controller installed should actually be a pretty simple process. So I'm starting off by removing the seat and taking out the battery. I'm unscrewing the 6 bolts for the bash guard and then pulling it right off. I'm taking off the stock controller and make sure you support it as it comes off so you avoid putting tension on the wires. Then I'm undoing the 5 bolts holding on the phase wires and battery leads. I'm taking off the battery guard and unplugging the 2 remaining controller plugs, meaning now I can fully remove the stock controller. Okay, so this is what a stock Surron controller looks like compared to the new EBMX. I really like how this silver pops on here compared to this one. This is just a much nicer finish on here. I really like how this one looks. You can see all of the stuff on the back, whereas the Surron one, you just get black. And surprisingly, this one actually weighs more than the Surron one, even though this one is so much smaller, but I guess since it's pushing so much more power, it's gonna need the extra weight. I think next up, we've got to install like all the harnesses, the Bluetooth dongle, all that, and then we can actually get everything buttoned up back onto the bike. All right, so here's the new wiring harness. To install it, it's really simple. You just use the same plugs that are at the top here. Oh, and don't forget the Bluetooth adapter, which will actually let you tune everything with the app. All right, when installing any controller, the most important thing is getting all of the different wires lined up properly here. So what's nice about EBMX is they've got all of the different colors labeled on here. We've got the blue one here, goes to B, yellow is obviously gonna go to the Y, and then the green is gonna go to the G. For these two over here, you've got the positive and negative, black is negative, red is positive, and then there's also these 2 cables, which are gonna go in both of these slots right here. All right, so I'm connecting all the motor wires, which is super easy because all of the colors line up, and then I can connect both the positive and negative battery leads. Now mounting the X-9000 while also making sure I evenly tighten all the bolts. And I forgot, but you also gotta put it on the bash guard. The only difference from stock is that you don't screw in these top 2 bolts. Okay, so the X-9000 is all installed, and all that is left to do is put the battery in and make sure that this thing actually works. Okay, fingers crossed. Yes! Let's go. Okay, so we know that the bike actually turns on, but we need to make sure that it's all tuned properly and all of the settings are correct. What's really nice is that EBMX is powered by CYC motor, as you can see on here, and the Benell has a CYC motor, and I know how to tune all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that all done, and then we can take this thing out to ride. Oh, and I almost forgot, Rev797 sent over some decals for the Ultra Bee. I'm gonna start with the fork guards here, and I definitely recommend you take them off because it's just gonna make aligning the decals easier. You're also gonna wanna wipe off any dirt that's on the plastic. Now to actually install the decals, you're gonna wanna use like a heat gun or a blow dryer just to make sure that the adhesive is doing the best it can. I'm cutting a slit on the back side of the decal so that when I put it on the fork guard, I can get everything aligned and then push it all down. Now the other side is just gonna be a little bit more difficult because this is where the brake line is actually gonna go, but really you're doing the exact same steps to put it on. And as you can see here, these are looking really damn good. Now the rear fender is basically the exact same thing, so just follow the steps from before. Shout out Rev797 for the decals, but now it's time to go test out this X-9000. All right, first ride on the X-9000. I have specifically waited until now to test it all out. So you guys are actually gonna be getting my very first impressions of this bike. Of course, we're starting out in eco mode because I'm not sure how powerful this thing is gonna get. Oh my goodness. That's eco mode. I'm using TB Electric's tune, and they just showed me exactly what power settings all the phase amps I should be running. Eco mode is like 10 kilowatts, and the phase amps are like turned all the way up. No, 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 no. We're saving the top speed run until I test out daily and sport mode. But I can already tell that this thing is so much faster. When I also realized that there's no speed limit on any of the modes. So Eco, Daily, Sport, they all, I think, have like the same top speed. I mean, obviously one's gonna be faster because it's running more power, but there's no limit on the speed for any of the modes. I definitely want to tune some of the throttle because it's a little bit too snappy on the low end. I think we're running too much phase amps in Eco mode. I want my Eco mode to feel like an Eco mode. But before we do that, you know what? Let's just bump it into Daily. Oh God! Like, it's so snappy, and this is only the second mode. This is like why the Ultra Bee is such a good bike. Like, this is all on stock battery, stock motor, everything. Also, I do want to check like what power we're actually running in each mode and like all the phase amps and everything. So I'm gonna pull that up real quick. Let's see here. Okay, so if I pull up the app, in each power mode, let's see what we're running. In mode 1, where it's 10 kilowatts. Mode 2, we were running 15, which feels faster than sport mode. Sport mode is 18 kilowatts normally. And then level 3, we can bump it all the way up to 27 kilowatts. So why don't we just do that? TB Electric said they ran 25 kilowatts on the stock battery and motor, which is insane. Like, you just need a controller upgrade and it pulls like that. Mode 2 is already way too much power. Let's bump it up to mode 3. 27 kilo. Oh! That was half throttle. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna make a couple changes. I think mode 1, let's bump it down, I don't know, 8 kilowatts. I still want it to be fast, but if somebody hops on this bike, I don't want them to like immediately get flung off the bike or anything like that. Mode 2, I honestly thought 15 was pretty solid. I might just bump it up a little bit more. Maybe, let's say 16. That's gonna be like my normal riding mode when I'm doing some one-wheel tricks and all that. And then I think mode 3, let's go 25 kilowatts just to be safe. Reverse strength 50. Why would I want? That's like 10 kilowatts going in reverse. I guess why not? All right, so eco mode, let's try that out. Oh yeah, that's good. On the bottom end, it kind of eases into the power and everything. It doesn't have like too much torque or anything like that, but it's still pretty fun, you know? All right, now time for daily mode 2. This is gonna be my normal riding mode. Oh, that was the pull, bro. The pull is so crazy. I think I gotta tweak this one a little bit though, because I want to bump up the power, but I don't want it to be so snappy right off the line. Oh, this feels good. So right now I've got it set to throttle mode natural and then a -1 expo. It's super nice because when you're in a one-wheel trick, you can get it up and then kind of dance around in the balance point. But then say maybe you kind of get a little low, you're doing a combo, then you can kind of just give it a little bit more throttle and then it brings it right back up. Oh, and I also forgot about the fact that reverse mode is now just a toggle. So since there's no turbo mode anymore, you just click on reverse and you're in reverse. So if we back up here, oh, maybe a little bit too much power in reverse, you know? But yeah, now it's a toggle. Turn it off, turn it on. You don't hold it down anymore or anything like that. Let's head down the stairs then. Oh. And then now is the perfect time to do top speed run. I'm at like half battery, which is perfect because I want to see a realistic test of what we're going to be getting. Okay, so we're recording here. Let's go. Phone is going in the pocket as per usual. All right, so we're in the highest mode now and we are on a closed course. Let's go. 60, 62, woo! 71, 72, 73. Oh my goodness. That is for sure faster. Now we got to see what we got on the GPS run here. That was actually so crazy. 68 miles an hour is pretty damn good. I know when the Tulare boys ran the test, they got 70, 71 or something like that. My GPS might be inaccurate. And also it kind of depends on the battery that you have. Like each battery, even though it's the same bike, same everything, each battery could have slight differences, especially since these are just the stock batteries. That daily mode is feeling good though. I like it for going like 35 miles an hour. It's perfect. Also, the Ultra stock had a really weird tune where in the beginning it would have a bunch of power and it honestly wouldn't need to be upgraded. But then when you got to like over 30 miles an hour, it completely just gave out and there was like basically no torque. It kept on pulling to like 55, but it honestly was not that good. So you kind of unlock that upper range of speeds. If you want to make your Ultra Bee go like 10 miles an hour faster, or you just want a little bit more tunability like I do, then the X-9000 is like the perfect controller. Compared to the other options, this one fully integrates with everything. Like you've got all your stock display, stock controls, everything just works perfectly. And of course, huge shout out to TB Electric and the Talaria boys for sending out the X-9000. Without them, this upgrade would just not be possible. So make sure you go check out their website. Link will be in the description. And you can also use the code zeeksteryt to save yourself some money. Thank you all so much for watching today's upgrade video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!